In episode 49, we covered off quickly on business risk, but I was asked by a regular viewer to explore the issue in more detail. So here we are. Now, business and risk go hand in hand. There's no escaping that. Risk-free business is a fantasy. It's not a reality. It's why we have insurance. It's why profit margins still exist. But risk is not really a topic that we love to talk about, or even think about if we're honest. And as a business owner, I'm sure you would rather spend time on sales and strategy and growth, all the positive, inspirational aspects of your business. I know I do. However, as a business owner, not only should you be spending time on managing your risk, you have a responsibility to do so. Because risk management is a key part of any decent governance framework, and there are measures that you could and should take to mitigate your business risk. So here is a 5-step process that you need to follow. The first step is not rocket science. You need to identify your risks. And there are 4 main types of risk: hazard, financial, strategic, and operational. And being able to identify what types of risk you have is vital to the risk management process. So hazard risks are mostly pretty straightforward: fires, injuries, general safety risks. Then financial risks can be external, such as interest rate changes or a recession, or internal, such as cash flow problems or bad debts. Strategic risks cover areas like market demand, competition, technological change, etc. And then operational risks can be some of the most common yet unidentified risks. So key staff failure, equipment or system breakdowns, fraud, human error. So if you go through these categories one by one and identify your risk areas, you can identify risks through experience and business history, consulting with professionals, and perhaps external research. And it's important to remember that risks are always changing. So this step should be revisited regularly. Then once you've identified your risks, you need to analyse and measure them. So what is the likelihood of a risk occurring, and if it did, what would be the impact? And you can use a heat map, as shown here on the board, to rank your risks against both impact and likelihood. Because knowing the frequency and severity of your risks, you'll be able to see where to spend your time and money and allow your team to prioritise their resources. So step 3 is where you can design your solution for each risk by choosing to accept, avoid, control or transfer a risk. So accepting the risk means that you accept some risks inherent in doing business and that the benefit outweighs the risk. You can choose to avoid a risk by not participating in that particular activity. And risk control involves prevention or mitigation, which is reducing the impact it will have if that risk does occur. And then finally, risk transfer involves giving responsibility for any negative outcomes to another party, such as insurance or warranties. And you can simply use your risk register to note what solutions you've chosen for each risk. And step 4 is very important. Simply reviewing the risk and choosing a solution won't make it happen. So just as with any strategic project or initiative, you need to allocate the required time and resources to actually implement the solution. And don't try and bite off more than you can chew. Prioritise according to your heat map and tick them off maybe a couple at a time. Then the final step is monitor. You need to monitor your results and your progress. And it's important to recognise that risk management is a continual process. It's not a once-off project. So make sure that a risk register review is a regular agenda item on your board or management meetings, and allocate enough time to ensure you stay on top of your business risk. So that's it from me this week. Perhaps a heavier topic than usual, but important nonetheless. Trust you found it helpful. We'll see you again in a week's time.